Sarah, there's actually a situation rapidly developing right now where you have the left-wing candidate calling for an investigation into the right-wing candidate for deliberately running and deploying fake news, not just on Facebook, but on WhatsApp. What do we know?
So Haddad has been attacked by a lot of this fake news, this misinformation, and he's asking federal authorities to see if that is coming from Bolsonaro's campaign. And a lot of the venue for this kind of attack is on WhatsApp, which is, of course, the encrypted messaging platform owned by Facebook. And that's something important to think about here as Facebook deploys this war room where they're trying to see these fake news trends and find reports about not just voter suppression, but hate speech and spam. WhatsApp is a harder platform for them to deal with because they can't see what people are sending each other.
Now, Ty, the initial election happened on October 7th. You know, we've heard about the violence. We've heard about the misinformation. You know, what was the election like from your perspective?
I think we had a very large scale of misinformation pieces. Fake news websites, but also images, videos, audios, any kind of media that was used in order to mislead electors from what is actual facts. We've seen that, as you said, during the weekend prior to the Sunday of the first round voting day, but we've seen that scaling up during the last 5 months. We have already debunked more than 100 pieces of misinformation since at least July. Most of them comes from the right-wing candidate Jair Bolsonaro, but also some of them comes from fans from Fernando Haddad. So it's not as if it is something that is a monopoly on the right wing, but we see it being scaled up to an industrial level from the right-wing party and Bolsonaro's campaign.
Now, Sarah, when you spoke to Facebook executives, they told you that they were delighted with their work in Brazil thus far, in part because they were able to identify some hateful content going viral towards the leftist candidate Haddad and take it down, right? Before it got too out of control.
Not just that leftist candidate, but after the polls closed on October 7th, they saw a lot of hate speech that was inciting violence directed toward the northeast region of Brazil, which went for Haddad, this region that is one of the poorer of Brazil. And they saw that the way that the war room works, they have representatives from all the different Facebook teams that have to work on this kind of task. They have operations, engineers, data science, policy. And so in that case, the data scientist was able to see this is the kind of content we're seeing, what's happening with it. The policy person was able to say, this actually violates our rules. And then the operations people were able to go out and find all that content and take it down. And Facebook says one reason they're so delighted is that what would normally take them a few days to accomplish, they were able to accomplish there in 2 hours. Now, is that enough? I mean, there was so much. The volume of fake news on Facebook around this was just so heavy, you know, as our fact-checking partners have said. And this is something that's happening on the Facebook platform, but on WhatsApp, it's basically invisible.
Now, Ty, is it reasonable to expect that users themselves should be able to decide or discern what is true and what is false? And is it reasonable to expect that Facebook can do all of this?
Ideally, yes. I think that we have to tackle media literacy and empower people in order to fact-check for themselves what's on the web. But let's be realistic. It's not as simple. We don't have a scale to do that. So that we have to be using technology in our favor. We see now that partnering with Facebook, it has some kind, it is not ideal still, but it has somehow stopped the spread of some misinformation on the platform. Meanwhile, this kind of misinformation, they migrated to WhatsApp, where it's much more difficult for people to fact check. In Brazil, we have another component that is WhatsApp, Twitter, and Facebook. They are free in the telephonical plan. So if you hire something on a plan on your phone, you receive free data to use WhatsApp, but not to access debunking and fact-checking websites. So that it's unequal. You can receive misinformation for free, but you can't fact-check them for free. In a poor country, when people have low levels of media literacy, it's really worrisome.